This video is definitely going to be TMI. Sorry for the echo, but it is what it is. I planned on doing this video in the bathroom because I have to get ready, but my baby was not cooperating at all. So here I am in the kitchen trying to get ready for the day. The lighting's kind of trash too, but oh well. So I am 7 months postpartum and I'm still having issues, and that is because of granulation tissue. I only had a first-degree tear, but that was excruciating, and I wasn't supposed to tear apparently. The midwife that delivered the baby told my husband, like, oh yeah, she wasn't even gonna tear, but when my son was born, his arm was up like this with his thumb sticking out, and his umbilical cord was wrapped around twice. And so it's bittersweet because the umbilical cord could have potentially strangled him. But because his arm was up like that, it stopped it. But because his arm was up like that and his thumb was out like that, when he came out, he scratched me. And so I call it a tear, but it's really a scratch that happened. But either way, it still required some stitching and stuff like that. But it was excruciating trying to sit down, and I just felt miserable. And then I had all these emotions and hormones, and gosh, this is the most annoying thing, is brushing my hair these days. Peeing burned, and I had to use like the little spray bottle, squirt bottle thing that they give you at the hospital. When I went in for my first postpartum appointment, it was September 11th, and I was really worried because I'm like, I'm still in a lot of pain. I don't feel like I'm healed at all. And you know, a lot of people are like having sex 6 weeks postpartum, or some even earlier. And I was like, I don't even want to pee, like, let alone that. The lady that I seen was like, oh yeah, it's still basically an open wound. Like, it's not healed. And my question was like, why? Why isn't it healing? Like, is there anything that I can do to heal it? Is there a cream I can put on it? Like, what can I do? And she suggested cauterization using silver nitrate sticks. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's basically burning your flesh, but with the silver nitrate. So I'm like, nah, I don't know if that's for me. That sounds terrible. And she's like, well, we can either cauterize it and it'll heal within a matter of days, or you can just wait it out, and who knows, it could take weeks. And she's like, some people take longer to heal than others. You're just one of those people that's taking long, so it's up to you what you want to do. So I decided, you know what? Let's get it cauterized. Like, it's gonna be terrible, I'm sure, but I'd rather deal with this temporary pain and heal within days instead of being in the same amount of pain that I'm in right now for weeks and weeks and weeks. That was terrible. I would have preferred to be in labor all over again than to be cauterized. It was bad. It was just very bad. I don't even know how to describe the pain. It was the worst thing that I had ever felt. And I have a very high tolerance for pain, but not for that. So I'm expecting to be healed in a matter of days, but instead weeks go by. Mind you, still hadn't had an actual pelvic exam because I was like, there's no way you're putting anything in there after that. Like, that's not happening. I missed my follow-up appointment, which was supposed to be for the pelvic exam. And I'm like, I'm not going. And everyone's telling me, you need to make an appointment, you need to go. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna go, because she told me that I'm just one of those people that takes longer to heal. So if my option is going and being cauterized again, I'm not doing that. Like, if I'm gonna take a long time to heal, then whatever, it is what it is. Still, weeks go by. At this point, it's months. And some days I started feeling better. I was like, you know what? Like, I didn't notice any pain. Like, I went pee this morning and there was no pain. So I'm thinking like, yeah, like, I'm finally healing. By the end of the day, there was pain again. And still, there had always been pain whenever I would sit down. So finally, either the beginning or the middle of February. I said, you know what? This is getting ridiculous. I just need to go. I just need to go see a doctor. I need to get this figured out. So I make an appointment with a new doctor. And while I'm in there telling her everything that I'm going through and what's happening, she's like, I think I know what's going on, but I wanna take a look and see before I tell you anything definitive. So she takes a look, she sees, and she's like, so it's what I thought, but it's worse. I'm like, what? What does that mean? So she says that basically whenever you have a cut or a tear or anything like that, your body naturally develops granulation tissue. I don't know all the extra details. That's about the extent of my knowledge. And something about it being, tissue with clusters of nerve endings, which is why it's so sensitive and so painful. And she was like, yeah, it's very common and happens to women all the time, but this is the worst case I've ever seen. She's like, I can't remember if she said she's been practicing for either 20 or 30 years. Either way, she said in all that time that she's been a doctor, that my case is the worst that she's ever seen. So she's like, at this point, the only option is cauterization. And she's like, I'm so sorry, and I don't want to hurt you, but unfortunately, this is where we are. This is the only option. You're going to have to come back once a week, every week, to have it cauterized until it's gone. It's like I'm trying to recover. I'm trying to be somewhat of the person that I was before having a baby. I'm trying to get my body back. I'm trying to get, my emotional state back and my confidence back. I'm just trying to be a normal human being. And then it's like, no, you gotta do this terrible thing. You've basically got to torture yourself until this is resolved. So she cauterized it that day, and it was painful, but it wasn't that bad. And I was like, you know what? I can do this. And I'm like, maybe, after the first time or whatever the case, it's getting better, so maybe it's not gonna hurt as bad. I go back the next week to have the cauterization done again. This time, conveniently, the baby's acting up. So I was like, you know what? It didn't hurt that bad last time, so I'll just lay back and I'll just hold him up in the air, do a little airplane with him while she's doing that. It'll help me distract myself, and it wasn't that bad. Oh my God. Girl, that was not okay. That was the worst thing ever. Before, the first time I got cauterized was the worst thing ever. This time, that was the worst thing I'd ever felt. I literally thought that my was tearing. And I'm screaming, I'm crying, and I'm trying to smile because I have my baby over my face looking at me like, what the heck are you doing? So I look like an absolute psychopath, and I'm like, it feels like it's tearing. And she's like, no, I promise it's not. It's your mind playing tricks on you. I don't recommend that. I don't recommend it at all. So after she finished cauterizing it, I literally had to hand her my baby. I had to hand her my baby because I couldn't get up. And she's like, it's not getting any better. She's like, it's really not much better from the last time that I seen you. She's like, I've never had to do this before, but I think it is gonna be in your best interest if we take you to surgery. That's the last thing anybody wants to hear, is like, yeah, your vagina is so messed up, we're gonna have to do some surgery on that thing. She's like, you know what, we'll keep your appointment for next week, and we'll see what it looks like, but I'm most likely not even gonna touch anything. I'm just gonna look at it, and if what I'm thinking is correct and it's not any better, then we're just gonna schedule an appointment to take you to the OR and have this removed. I go to the next appointment, which was last week, or yeah, I think it was last week, but either way, I go to my next appointment, and she's like, yep, it's really not better, like, doesn't look that great. And just where my tear is, another TMI moment, but where my tear is, it's like super kind of in there, so she literally has to kind of like spread some things open just to see where it's at, and just that alone is excruciating. So she's like, considering that this hurts you this bad and I'm not even touching the actual spot, and she's like, and it's really not much better, we're definitely gonna have to take you into surgery. And she's like, I want to remind you I've never done this before, so I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to tell you as far as what your recovery is going to look like. I'm not sure if we're going to need to have you come in here and go under anesthesia to take care of this again. She's like, I have no idea. She literally said, we're kind of both going to be experimenting. I have no idea what to expect. But what I ended up asking her was, okay, instead of cutting into the healthy tissue and the healthy muscle just to get all the granulation tissue out, is it possible to only cut out the bad tissue and if necessary, while I'm under, then use the silver nitrate to cauterize whatever is left? So as of now, that's the game plan. And as a matter of fact, she was reminding me, like, I've never had to do this before. So when she was giving me all the paperwork to sign, she had to literally hand write the consent form, the consent waiver. She was like, you know, we have nothing that covers what is going to happen in your surgery because we've literally have never done this before. It's just something that sucks, and it's so frustrating because, like, I did my very best before I got pregnant to try to do research and try to learn as much as I could about all the possible side effects, negative or positive. So that way I was prepared. I'm like, even if this doesn't happen, at least I'll be prepared. Like, I was prepared to rip from hole to hole. That didn't happen. And I'm like, what I'm going through now, I feel like it's worse than what I was prepared for. It's worse than my worst case scenario because I'm 7 months postpartum and I'm still not healed. Like, and I'm still in pain. It still hurts to sit down. It still hurts when I pee. And now I have to go to surgery. The reason why I wanted to even make this video was because, like I said, I didn't even know that what I'm going through was a possibility. And I haven't really found a whole lot of information about it. And even my gynecologist, who's been doing this for years, has never seen a case as bad as mine. And basically, moral of the story, if you are not healing and it's just not happening, you need to go get it checked out. Don't be me. Don't be stupid and say, no, I'm just gonna wait it out because I'm in pain. Like, no, go get it checked out. Make sure that you're healing properly. And if somebody's telling you like, oh yeah, you're just taking a long time to heal, but it's been like 3 or 4 months and you're not healed, go see somebody else if you can, because it's possible that you're dealing with granulation tissue as well. Like, don't let it go to the point. My gynecologist says it's gotten out of hand. That's what she specifically said to me. So don't be me and not go to the doctor because you're in so much pain and end up having to have surgery on your vagina. So this coming Monday is my surgery. If anybody else is dealing with this situation or wants to just prepare for the worst case scenario, which in my opinion, this is one of them. There's many, but this is one of the worst case scenarios, then just, I guess, follow along, subscribe, so that way you can get a notification when I do post the next videos. But thank you for watching anyways. Sorry for the TMI moments, and if you want more TMI information that I haven't addressed, feel free to ask me and maybe I'll make a video of it. It'll be like TMI times 5 or something. I don't know. But thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.